Hi, ladies and gentlemen, this is Eddie Marcus, your spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. That means you. Basic human rights means that you live here on this earth as though you are in heaven. That is my message. That is what I bring to you. And I love it. Some might ask, why do I love it in a time where all of the pain and suffering is going on? You see, ladies and gentlemen, that is why I love it. Because a doctor loves to be where sickness is. Not that he wants sickness to be, but he wants sickness to cease. And only the doctor can make sickness cease. And so what I find here, ladies and gentlemen, in my lifetime is a race for heaven and hell. And everything has a little bit of information about the heaven, and everything got a little bit of information about the hell. And choices have got to be made by people. And people have been influenced by heaven and hell. And they are required to discern the difference between the two. In my experience, I've learned that when you speak about lying and cheating and stealing and poverty and crime and violence and hatred and racism and bigotry and terror and war and slavery and haves and have-nots, I have been taught, not just in words, but in deed, that represents something that I never want to experience in my life, though I might have. And so to me, that is evil. To me, that represents the devil. That represents anti-God. You see, for me, God is represented by peace and prosperity and freedom and joy and happiness and your dreams being realized. That you have to never suffer for anything. Your needs, your wants, and your desires are met at your leisure. And this is made possible by the acceptance of a power that is bigger than any human being that have ever existed or exist today. That power was powerful enough to create the earth and everything that we've been able to identify as existing. That's another power outside of us. So we give allegiance to that power. And we recognize and respect that same power that was able to make the tree and the grass and the flowers, able to make us, kept the harmony with the trees and the grass and the flowers, and can keep it between us. Because so many of the things that are required for our survival is just that, required for ours, not just an individual, but ours. And so in order for us to meet those needs, each of us has been given a gift that gives us our greatest joy whenever we engage in it. And that gift that gives us our greatest joy also is connected in such a way by that power that we cannot see, that power that I call God, I don't know what you call it. But it's interconnected in such a way that we, all of us, are engaged in the process of creating for that reservoir of goods and services an abundance that none of us will ever have to suffer lack of anything. That's what God is to me. And so when I see the politicians come out to the American people, talking about all of this wokeness, talking about people closing borders, talking about giving money to fight this war and to tear down that war, and to choose and size who we gonna support and who we not gonna support. And then we call ourselves children of God and Christians and all that kind of stuff. And we say that God says thou shalt not kill, and in another voice, we don't know God. We can't even tell the difference. When a voice say go into a town and kill everything that's living, we say that's God too, because we don't know the difference between the two. We have not the ability to discern which is righteous and which is deceptive. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I stand here before you at this moment, and I am excruciatingly in pain. I don't know whether it's from lactose intolerance whether it's has got to do with what they call this thing up here, my sugar boat, what they call that. Well, you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I feel like this. I might not be dying, maybe not, hopefully not. But one day I'm going to, like it or not. But I don't want to go at the result of pain, even this, or sickness, or anything that's going to cause me to scream out and hurt. Before that happens, I would rather for there to be rules and regulations set, well, with God, it's always already there. You can pass out and die whenever you get ready. And so you don't have to allow yourself to go through all of that. But in the midst of this, I stand before you and say that I want to live, but I want to live with you. And I want you to live because you want to live with yourself and the rest of us. That we can wake up every morning rejoicing, not trying to outmaneuver, not trying to see who's going to be the richest, not trying to see who's going to be the smartest, not trying to see who's most superior, but just living and recognizing that God who made you and I is superior. And you and I are evidence of that superiority because we are magnificent, magnificent creation. I want to stop right now, ladies and gentlemen. I got to go rub this pain. This baby hurting. I'll talk to you later.